All right, so today we're taking a look at Kena Bridge of Spirit, the anniversary edition on Steam. Now, if you already own this game on Epic, there's really very little reason to fork over another $40, unless you just want to support the developer and have it in your Steam collection like I do. Then yeah, go ahead. But for everyone else, if you already own the game, very little reason. You're only gonna get a new game plus, which I think should have been a free update anyway. You get some of the Spirit Trials, which I think is the most fun addition to the game. And you get new outfits. You only get a few new outfits, but unfortunately, a lot of them are just reskin, recolor. So it's really a little disappointing there. And a new addition of Charm Stone, which I think is pretty useless, to be honest. I never had the need to use it. It's just a nice addition, but it's definitely not necessary. And then the enhanced mode, photo mode, which is nice, but I don't really take pictures in game that much. So that's always been a feature that I don't really care too much about. But for everyone else, if you like photo mode, then I will have to say this photo mode is definitely pretty nice. All right, so let's start with the ultra-wide support. I remember in the past with the Epic version, I had to download a program to get the cutscene in 21 by 9, but that is no longer the case. It seems like the in-game engine are now 21 by 9 native. There was only a few, I remember, throughout the 19 hours or so that it took me to beat the game. I remember there was only a few that was black bar during cutscene, and those were seemed like pre-rendered cutscenes. So out of the box now, it does seem to support ultra-wide cutscene. So that is good. However, the menus and everything still remain 16 by 9, so you will get black bars. Alright, so the gameplay remains unchanged from a year ago, even with the addition of Charmstone. Like I said, I barely even pay attention to it. It just didn't seem very helpful or very necessary. You could not use it at all, and you wouldn't even notice it. I think it was a nice addition, but I think it's just something they just kind of tacked on to add more to the anniversary, but it wasn't really fleshed out that much, and I really didn't see the use for it. Other than that, combat still, the melee combat still remains a tad stiff. Hasn't changed there. The dodge still feels the same. Again, the bow is the one weapon that is extremely fun to use. It's very versatile. You'll be using that a lot along with your kind of like grenade bomb. The melee is really only there for parry and then counter pretty much. You won't be using it all that much. So story wise, I thought it was okay. There's three parts to the story. The first part I thought was the strongest and the most heartwarming. Unfortunately, the second one felt a little bit out of place for the setting that you're in. And then the third and last story that wraps everything up was okay, even after all the revelation and everything. I thought it was okay, but yeah, the first was the strongest, and that was probably your first 5 hours of the game. As for the music, I thought it was really good. Fits the setting perfectly. The voice acting for an indie title is okay, not too bad. And overall, this game for an indie title is really worth picking up, especially when it's on sale. And really, this game is focused more on the story. Other than the trials, there won't be a lot of combat. It's more of a mix of story and combat. So if you're looking for a heavy combat action RPG, then you might be a little disappointed. All right, so going back to the trial, the new addition to this anniversary update is the most fun. It adds the most value to this edition. You'll be going through a series of trials, combat, platforming to unlock more charm stones, to unlock outfits, and to unlock more trials. So you unlock trials as you progress through the story. So I do recommend doing it once you're in the mid game and late game, because if you attempt it in the very beginning when you don't have all your skills yet, it can be extremely difficult. But once you get most of your skill, if not all of your skill, and you go back and do the trial, it's actually becomes a piece of cake. Uh, I was struggling really a lot early on until I went back in mid game when I was a little bit stronger, and it became a kind of a cakewalk after that. If you've never played Kena before, I think at the current price, it's definitely worth it, especially with the anniversary update. But if you already played before, I see very little reason to pick it up unless it's like at least 50% off. And then after that, you would just want it on your Steam, so you can play it on a Steam Deck or something like that. But overall, it's a really polished game. Combat is just a tad stiff, but other than that, I had a lot of fun with it, and I do recommend a buy for those who've never played it before. All right, so I will see you guys in the next review, and I appreciate you watching this far, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Peace out.